Hello my fellow crafters, welcome back to my channel. It's David and today I'm going to be making a card and I'm going to be using some of my stencils that are my previous release and I'm just going to have some fun with that. It's a fun technique that I will show you and I'm going to use some flowers, etc. Well, you know what, let's switch the camera around so we can have a look at what I'm doing. I've already prepared my card base, which is a slim card with a panel of craft paper and a panel of the soft finish cardstock. I'm going to keep that one here. These are going to put to the side. And I've got this beautiful flower that I'm going to use. It's my favorite from the last release. It's the 2041 Florals 21. Love that one. I'm going to be using that one. My Gina K inks. Recently discovered those, so I'm going to be playing with those. First things first. Let me put these to the side. I'm going to cover my paper, and I'm going to do that using two colors. I want to use Craft and I want to use Sandy Beach. So two very light brownish colors. And I'm going to get my brush out. Let me off. Because I know I've used the darker color brown, so that's the beauty. I'm just going to rub that over my paper towel until it's clean, and then we're good to go. So what I'm doing first is I'm going to put this one here, and I'm going to line this up where I want it. So now this one is peeking off. I want the top to be on there. Since I've trimmed this down, it's a little bit too small for the slimline card, but that's not a problem. I will just put it like this, and it's done. And then I'm going to take some low-tech tape, and I'm going to put that right here to keep that in place. I will do the same on this side. And it's important to keep your stencil good in place for the second step we're going to do. I'm going to start with the lightest color, which is called Sandy Beach. And I'm going to pick up that color and just gonna rub that over my paper. Now the soft finish cardstock will take the ink beautiful. It's such a beautiful paper to use for your stenciled backgrounds and for flowers. It's also the perfect paper, so that's what I'm going to be using for the flowers as well. But for now I'm just gonna give this a light layer of this color called Sandy Beach. Just taking my time. There we go. That's that. So this is Sandy Beach. Next, I'm coming in with my Craft and my second stencil. I'm going to line up my second stencil right over the top of this one. I'm just going to find some spots. There we go. And take a piece of tape and stick that down again. That's why it was important to keep the bottom one stuck down. And I'm going to pick up that Craft color. And while I'm holding the stencil down on this side, you could tape it on that side, but I don't feel like it. So I'm just going to go over with that darker Craft color over that second stencil. I think this is really a fun technique, the double stenciling. It really gives nice texture and structure to your card, or journal page, or whatever you're doing. I mean, this technique, of course, can be used for anything. Now, first let me take off this stencil. You can already see the texture in there. I will clean it later. And then this one, the big reveal. Look at that, at the texture you get. Beautiful. You see how pretty that is on the soft finish cardstock. I love this stuff. Okay, cool. That is that. Now I'm going to color a lot of the flowers. So I will do and one leaf, and then I will do the rest of it. Well, you know, well, if you've seen one, you've seen them all. Bunny teal for the outside of the flowers. So I'm keeping the inside white. So there we go. And with that brush, I'm just going to come in, build up that color and blend it out. Just like that. And this is how simple I'm going to do it. Just as simple as that. You see? That's it. And I love the darkness there. I'm going to color the back as well, just because, well, you never know what peaks up. So at least I want the same color there. And that's the first one done. Then for the leaves, I'm going to do it slightly different, of course, different color. For the leaves, I'm going to take jelly bean green, and I'm going to use a tiny bit of this so I'm going to start with jelly bean green, just brushing that on. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect. I just want that color on there. Beautiful green color this. Like so. And then I've got this tiny little brush from, I don't know what brand, it's not on there. Oh yeah, Spellbinders. And I'm going to pick up that dark sage, and I'm just gonna put that on the edge of one side. And that gives it immediately sort of a darker edge, and I like that. That gives it some oomph for me. So for me, that is done. So I'm going to continue doing this off screen, and then I'll be back. Okay, all my elements are dried. Okay, all my elements are dried, and this one dried beautiful as well. So let's continue with shaping these flowers. Now, I'm still debating, do I want one flower, two flowers, but I'm going to start building up the first one. Now, I'm not wetting them because, well, I don't think it needs it in this case. So I'm just going to shape this with this golf tool, they call it. Like that. So this is also a quick way to shape your flowers. I'm not making it complicated. I just want some texture on there. I'm not wetting them. because it holds the texture perfectly. You get a different feel of the flowers when you wet them, but I just want it fine like this. So I'm just taking my and in the middle, doing that, and my flower is done. My first petals are done. This one goes here, that one goes in there. You can already see the shape of the flower together, and I love that. So the last one for this flower, so this is a very easy way to make and shape your flowers. And coloring was easy as well. So fairly easy flower making. So that one's going to go in there. See, it's really coming together nicely. And this one, I just want a bit of movement, not too much. So I'm just taking my ball stylus and bringing that together, like so. Now, with this, I made a point in here. I just did that so I can slide in my bud, and I've colored the bud using the same color as the leaves and this little bit, like so. Then I'm going to take my Kids Choice glue, put that here at the bottom, and I'm going to pull that in like so, and let that dry for a minute. And I will do the same with this one. So I will just give it some movement. And pull this one through. Put some glue at the bottom. And let that dry for a minute. Now I want one slightly different. I don't have a clue whether it's going to work, but I've got this in my head, so I will just try that. I'm using my ball stylus on the front to cup it all inside. Then you get a completely different look with flower. So I've colored the back and front. And I'm just shaping that so that it all curls in, and I'm going to curl it in even more by going around with my ball stylus, etc. So this is there. So that's one. I will do the same with this one. Just making sure that I curl it in enough. Just going around with my ball stylus. And this one I want to be curled in even more, so I'm just paying a bit more attention to my shaping so that it really curls in. Just like so. And what I'm doing is I'm sort of creating a bud. There we go. So this one is going to go inside this one, like so. Pretty, right? I think this looks pretty. And then I'm just going to make one more flower, but I'm going to make that one tiny smaller. So just 2 layers. Like that. So now I'm going to assemble my flower. This one, the glue has, so I'm going to take my little scissors and trim this off right there. And then I'm going to assemble the first flower. Just put a dot of glue in there and offset it. I don't want it to be in the same spot. Just going to press this down. And then I'm going to do the same with my center and just press that in there like so. And let go. First flower done. So again, some Kids' Choice glue. Now I love the Kids' Choice glue for making flowers because it's just a bit thicker than the other favorite glues I use. So just going to press that down, put some glue on. So it's so easy to assemble these flowers. Just turn them around and play with them. Just go with the flow, fairly. You can't go wrong. And put some glue here of my bud and press that in there. Look at that, beautiful flower. Then I'm gonna take my Kids' Choice, put that on there. Put it in there and just fold it close again. There we go. It's time to assemble my card. So I've got my card panel here that I'm going to be placing on my beautiful front. So I'm going to use some glue for that because that gives me some wiggle time. So it has an even border. You see how beautiful that is with that craft brown color there. Love that. See, beautiful small white border around. Makes all the white pop again. So that's that one done. And now I'm going to assemble my card. So the smaller flower is coming here, this one's going there, the bud is going here. And then I've got my little leaves. So I'm just pressing down the center on the back, turning it over and give it a press there and there. That's leaves done. Okay, let's build up a card. Now again, I'm using my Kids' Choice for this. And I'm going to start with this big flower that's going to go right there. Overlapping, I like that. Now I want this bud to stay in a bud shape, so what I'm doing, I'm just putting tiny dots of glue on the inside, just on a couple of leaves, just so it stays closed. Place that there. I'm just tucking the leaves under my flowers. And I love love this. This doily is so beautiful to use on a card as well. Yeah, happy with that. So my Kids' Choice glue is closed, this one is closed, and then we need a sentiment. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to use this "No time like today" sentiment. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use this "No time like today" sentiment from the journal phrases to set. I'm just using my long neck to trim that off. Just cutting in between the lines. Don't try to be precise, because let me tell you, that will not work. There we go. And then with what is left on this tiny little brush, I will just go around. Just to soften up that white. With that darker sage. Simple and easy. And I'm just going to put that right there. Put some glue behind it. And place that on there. And here is the finished result. Beautiful simple flowers. Nice flower bud. So yes, this is not a card to put in the post. Let that be clear. Love the sentiment on there. Love the texture on there. Yeah, I really like how this one came out. If you like it too, give this video a thumbs up. And if you haven't done so yet, please consider to subscribe to my channel. We're aiming for 4,000. So amazing. I still love that. So thank you for doing that. And I would love to see you for the next one. Thank you for joining me, and see you then. Bye.